Hello, everybody. I'm still here in Fort Collins, in the park, and I'm sitting down this time. I watched last session's video, and frankly, there were points there that made me a little bit nauseous the went around, so I'm gonna try to do this one almost fully stationary. And here we are. As of this week, I'm working on more formally accepting the notion that I have depression. There have been some really rough days, similar to those of a few weeks ago, kind of around the time I made the first video, where doing anything just kind of sounded like a joke. Having a pleasant conversation, or even a conversation's a really big ask. And major achievements include things like making myself food, eating the food, rinsing the plates after, and muttering to myself all the while like the little engine that could. So this week, it's time to take it a little more seriously, and two things have motivated me to take a stronger action. One, fatigue, inhibiting my pursuits, and second, the realization that my feeling better for a day or few days, such as today, which has been a good day, that these good days are not necessarily a strong signal of stable recovery. I've been so wiped out for so many hours during some days, and I feel like I can get next to nothing done. This is a feeling for which, historically, I'm very harsh on myself, as it makes me think I've done something wrong in my short-term health management that's preventing me from enjoying my day. And I invest a lot into my short-term health management, so it's always bad news. However, in this case, I'm at least pleased that with all of this gimmicky health tracking I've been doing, it suggests that there isn't something drastic regarding sleep or exercise or diet that I'm doing wrong. Something like a vitamin deficiency or overtraining or not sleeping when I should. I think I've been doing those things really well. And what makes most sense is that I'm struggling with a serotonin issue, not in the gut, but somewhere up here. I can get a fantastic night's sleep or two in a row and wake up when steel feels completely unmotivated and unmovable. The other thing, which all this tracking from the last few weeks helps to confirm, is that, like I said, some days are much better and much worse without an apparent cause. I don't really understand it, and that's led me, I think, to interpret better days as a sign of recovery and impending monotonic improvement, such that the worst is behind me. That seems to not be true. It comes and goes. But I think I've made the mistake, in the last 2 weeks especially, of misrepresenting my condition, including to my therapist, by assuming a slight happy signal to imply a trend. It's more fun to explain things that way, like I've gotten out of it and accomplished. More realistically, I think I should expect a good spread of good and bad days. The activity most immediately threatened by these impediments is my master's degree, of which I've now completed 1 week. Woohoo! I do think it's going to be a very cool master's. It's very deep in fundamental chemistry, very deep in academic papers. Given that it is in online nature, and my professors are very much technologically trapped in 2005, the work is predominantly reading. If this week is any indication, it's going to be something like 20 hours per week of reading. A part-time master's, more in the enslaved PhD candidate sort of sense. On top of that, there are some projects and group stuff and exams and frantically catching up on high school chemistry I claimed I knew in my application, etc., etc. But it's a reading degree. And reading is fucking fun. I feel really confident that that's what I want to be doing. But I do need to get my head wires untangled if I want to reasonably expect to keep up with things for this first semester. Currently, 3 to 4 hours a day of reading technical things is not a reasonable expectation. So, most likely, I suppose that a stronger corrective action will look like a trial with SSRIs, but, you know, who knows? We'll talk to people I trust, and maybe popping into a couple sessions of Zumba will fix me right up by the end of the week. I've heard it before. What else? It appears I lied to you in the previous video about possible outcomes of my visa application. While I had planned on them keeping my passport for a couple weeks and then either telling me that I could come in now or telling me where to shove it, they've found a new strategy of keeping my passport for 6 to 12 weeks instead of a couple, without any hope of intermediate updates. As such, I also don't have any intermediate updates for anyone regarding until when I'll be in the US, when I'll be in Spain, or when I might be in India. Christina has her flights to India already for late October and is excitedly planning crazy things for us to do together. Maybe we'll do them together, and maybe she'll send pictures. We don't know. I am really bummed to be away from Greece for longer, and to still not have any certainty of where I'll be 3 weeks from now, or 6 or 9. But at least long distance, she and I is going the best as of this week as I'd argue it's ever gone. At least for me. And she's the best. We'll make the best of it. One other way I'll make the best of it, not being able to be within smelling distance of Chris for a while, it was also not being single, is some experimentation with hygiene, or lack thereof. A book which my friend Danny inspired me to try, called Clean, has inspired me to experiment with being less clean, like showering less, soaping less, etc., all in the name of the microbiome. While this sounds fun and can save time and soap and all that, in particular, I want to take this time too to see what I can do about the acne on my face. The situation right now, as has happened sometimes before while settled in the same, especially dry location for at least a few weeks, I've reached a point with a cleanser, a moisturizer, and sunscreen where I'm barely breaking out at all, and my routine seems airtight. And then, all of a sudden I travel, or I get stressed, or I experience a change of season, or I encounter humidity, or I get slightly more sun than usual, or I eat something, or scratch my face while sleeping, and wha-bam, nothing works anymore. What's always bothered me most about this is not really even the acne itself, but the fragility of my skin and immeasurability that literally anything could make me break out, even when I'm taking reasonably good care of it. And so, I think this is a good time. As, well, I have some physical downtime, not necessarily workload or emotional, some downtime to try putting absolutely nothing on my face other than sunscreen, and very little also on my hair and body, potentially for up to a couple months, to see what happens. One suggestion of the book is that it's these cleansers and moisturizers which, while wiping out some microbes, may actually be causing the fragility by not letting other microbes do their thing. And there are some accounts of people seeing interesting effects after taking a couple-month break from them. So I suppose we'll all get to see. God help us in the next few videos. With some more of my time here during my extended stay, I'll continue to try to do my best to have some more fun with my mom. She really made an admirable effort to pretend to be sad. When I moped to her about the visa delays, didn't really pull it off, but I don't blame her. And she's been really taking amazingly good care of me. I really don't deserve her. Thanks, Mom, as always. I'll keep running. Been on a good streak, and I'll keep cooking. This week, Chris and I are planning to try to virtually synchronize to make cauliflower brownies. What better way to cheer someone out of a depression than cauliflower instead of cake? I'll probably keep crying spontaneously, time to time, and refusing to elaborate, and reading all sorts of new things I should try to further reduce my sociability to the entire rest of the world. With that, love you all, whatever. Until next time.